So I met with Judge Gorsuch, and we had a nice discussion. Um, there were some questions that I asked him, which I wasn't totally satisfied with the answers about some decisions by the Roberts Court that I felt were pro-corporate activist decisions, and but I'm looking forward to the hearings where I'll be asking him some tough questions, and I do have my doubts about whether he won't be a fifth vote for an activist pro-corporate court like we've seen with the Roberts Court.
Are you saying you're still open to him?
I'm sorry?
Are you still open to him if he votes?
Well, we have the hearings for a reason. I have some skepticism. I wasn't happy with, I think that in these kind of meetings, he's guarded and he's met now, I guess he's met with 70 senators. So I think he's probably gotten pretty good at speaking around some things. And so I'm looking forward to the hearings to make it a final decision. But I do believe that this court under Roberts, I don't think they have called balls and strikes. I think they've changed the strike zone.
Senator, Judge Gorsuch has expressed his frustration with some of Donald Trump's comments about the judiciary, and in the past, did he say anything like that to you? Did he express any frustration with President Trump's comments about the judiciary in your meeting here?
No, we did not discuss. No, we didn't discuss that.
Senator, does the Republicans' tactics with blocking Merrick Garland last year affect how you're going to approach this, both in the meeting and in the upcoming hearing?
I did discuss that with him, and again, that was an area where I didn't really get a satisfactory answer. I asked him about the so-called Biden rule, which has been Biden's speech was completely misrepresented by my colleagues. This was a case in which Justice Scalia died. Biden was talking about a justice resigning to game the court. No one dies to game anything. And I asked him about that, and I think he is good at deflecting and not totally answering, at least to my satisfaction, these questions. We talked about Citizens United. Pretty much everything we talked about, I felt that he sort of got into judge speak and didn't really directly answer my questions.
What did he say on the Biden rule that you were not accepting?
Well, he said he wasn't familiar with it, and he says he's a great admirer of Merrick Garland. The Biden rule was used very often and continued to be used by the majority leader as the reason for their not taking up Merrick Garland. But if you go back to what Biden said is that if a justice resigned and the president selected somebody who, with consultation, that he would be fine with having hearings, etc. So very, very, almost the opposite of how it's been presented. And but I didn't, I didn't necessarily expect him to go like, you're right. Yeah, they really should have taken him up. But I think he could have split the difference and been a little bit more responsive in his answers.
Did anything surprise you
Anything what?
Did anything surprise you about the meeting? Did he say any concerns?
I wasn't surprised in the meeting. You know, he's a guy. He's been a judge for a long time, and he's written a lot of opinions. And I think he sort of said, "Read my opinions," and then I talked about one, and we discussed that. And I kind of disagree with his reasoning on some of this, but I'm going to do more reading of his of his opinions. I did ask him for material that has been asked by both the chairman and the ranking member that he didn't seem to know what I was talking about, but the people who are with him did. And I asked for at least something written about where we are on getting that material, and they said they didn't have. They would take it back to the White House, but they didn't have the authority to just even say that they sent us a letter on the progress of getting that material.
Is there anything additional you want to say about the sessions back and forth today? You believe that he perjured himself in the hearing?
I said that it's hard to come up with any other conclusion. I think if you saw over the weekend, I was bending over backward. I was asked by Martha Raddatz on this week, do I think that he lied? And I said, well, I haven't come to that conclusion. I want to see the letter he writes to the committee. And if you look at the letter, what he wrote was kind of ridiculous. He said that he didn't remember he had 7 weeks to correct the record, and he said that he didn't correct the record in regard to the ambassador from Russia because that wasn't in the question. He answered a question I didn't ask. If there was a gotcha question, it's the question he invented to ask himself. If you read that letter, it is absolutely ridiculous and contradictory, his reasoning. So what I believe is that he should come before the committee. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it is hard to come to any other conclusion than that he was deliberately not telling us the truth at that time. He remembers conversations he had with the ambassador. He remembers the details of them, but he says he doesn't recall whether he talked politics with them or the campaign. And Leahy asked him a pretty simple question. Did you have any conversations about the campaign with anybody? And he said no. He didn't say, I can't recall. He just said no. Now, what are we supposed to take from that? I don't understand how we're supposed to draw any other conclusion than he was lying under oath. Unless he comes back, he should come back and talk to us. Okay? Thank you all. Thanks for coming out here, and thank you. Goodbye.